Now, I suggest to you, read your notes if you have any. If you don't have any, you can't read them. Or listen to the recording. We mentioned the church in Corinth, they were full of immorality. They were carnal. They had not learned the love walk. 1 Corinthians 13, they had gifts, but they didn't know how to exercise the gifts properly because they were lacking love. So the letters that Apostle Paul wrote to the churches, they were epistles, they were letters. It wasn't the gospel. He was addressing problems in the church, essentially. Okay? Now, those of you, I'm still waiting on you to turn in your homework, your sermons. Only 2 people turned in their sermons. Right now, I just want you to do textual and topical. Don't concern with our expository. Because when you're doing topical and textual sermons, inside there, there's room to do an exposition, which is basically verse by verse. All right. Now, there are some key things that you need to have when you're writing a sermon. What is the first thing? What is the first thing?
Title.
A title. A title, a subject, or a theme. Those are kind of synonymous. All right. What's the next thing you need to have?
Foundational scripture, your main foundational scripture.
I'll give you a pass. Did y'all hear? Did y'all hear? Scholars.
She said foundational scripture.
You got good ears. You they have an ear. You got an ear or ears? What's the next thing you need to have? Right here. After this. Yes.
Introduction.
No.
A body?
No. I'm glad y'all came today.
Oh.
I don't know, I'm just.
Opening sentence?
Cool?
An opening
No.
sentence?
What you call outline?
No.
The central thought?
No. It's on y'all paper who did, those of y'all who did papers. It's on y'all papers. The 2 people that did it.
So you have the title, you have the subject, you have the main text.
The accompanying scripture text.
Text. What did you say?
Text.
Supporting text.
No, y'all listen to me, don't get ahead of me. See, this is a problem, this is one of the problems. We think we know, and so then when knowing comes, I'm rejecting it because I think I already know. Does that make sense? Because I heard foundation scripture. That wasn't totally wrong, but it's not complete. You, a scholar who's been to Bible school, you have to get the terminology on your lips. Here's a principle. Learn the terminology, you can speak the language. Learn music theory, you can play. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense vocally?
Yes.
Learn the terminology and the concepts. If I go home and practice, I'll see improvement. So, once you get this in your spirit, this is how you start thinking. And when you talk to somebody, you can tell whether they've been to Bible school or they self-taught. or what, you know what I'm saying? All right, so you have to have a text. And that might, could be in your introduction when you're talking. I like to take for a text briefly. All right? Which is the same thing as a passage. You're gonna look at this passage, but it's your text. It's that thing that's gonna keep you focused. And if you're not focused on your text, you're gonna be all over the place. You'll be talking about Disneyland, you'll be talking about the vaccination. You'll be talking about it's been a year, you started last March. Is that part of your text? And a text will help you stay focused to preach the word and not be all over the place. Okay? Now, what do I need after I have that? Because the text is my scripture that I'm going to be talking about. This is to help keep me focused. This is what I'm talking about. All right? For an example, if I'm going to talk about spiritual power, if I'm talking about spiritual power, I shouldn't be talking about finances.